Great. Okay, public comment. How many speakers do we have?
We have 12 people here for public comment.
12 people, 3 minutes.
Okay, I will call folks who have signed up, your name, and if folks will please come to the front row so we can make sure everybody's who's here and gets a turn to speak. I'll call 5 names and twice to make sure people hear their name. Ann Todd, Patty Carrousel, Rosemary Olivieira, Sagatume, Melody Priceman, and Marialyce Dayale. One more time. Ann Todd, Patty Carrousel, Rosemary Olivieira, Sagatume, Melody Priceman, and Marialyce Dayale. First speaker.
Hello, my name is Ann Todd. I've been teaching at, sorry, am I too close? I've been teaching at Chavez Elementary for 16 years, and I love the kids and I love my job, but I am concerned about the contract. We haven't had a raise for 4 years, and during that time, our expenses have gone up: gas, food, clothing, expenses for our family. Everything else has gone up, while our take-home salary has actually gone down because of no raise for 4 years and increasing health care deductions taken out of our take-home pay. I'm also concerned about the increased class size. I have 27 second graders this year, and it's very difficult to get around and meet all their individual needs with that many children in the classroom. If you increase my class to 29 or 30, I will start getting concerned about safety, as we are so crammed in now and crowded that when the children are trying to put their things on the hooks in the back of the room, you know, I have to carefully supervise it and make sure just a few go back at a time because we're so crowded. I literally have no more room for a desk or chairs. If you add any more students to my class, I don't know where I'll put them, out in the hallway perhaps. So those are some of my concerns. Thank you for your attention.
My name is Patty Carrousel, and I also teach at Chavez, first grade. And I and many teachers right now are feeling very disillusioned with our contract negotiations. I have endured 4 years without a salary increase while sending my 2 college-age kids to school, attempting to pay for their college educations without a salary increase in 4 years. As a homeowner, I have supported and voted for every parcel tax measure, in effect, taxing myself. I have supported this district as a parent and teacher for over 20 years, but still no pay increase in the last 4 years. My workload has increased by 20% with increased class sizes that are overcrowded and an increased paperwork workload of assessments. We are essentially overworked and underpaid as teachers in this district. I am insulted as a hard-working professional with a district that does not respect its teachers and pay them what they deserve. Now is the time for the district to show us how much you value and appreciate your teachers and all their time and hard work and dedication. I have a dream, along with many teachers in this district, and that is that we will be valued and receive a pay increase this contract negotiations. Thank you.
My name is Rosemary Olivieira. I too am from Chavez School. I've been with the district for 22 years. I've taught at 3 different schools, all in the Iron Triangle. I've seen a lot, and I've endured a lot in those 22 years. But there's one thing that I'm really tired of right now. I'm really tired with an administration that just wants to take. You took our salary, you took away our decent class size, you took away our health care, and you've taken away our retirement benefits. On top of this, teachers helped passed several desperate parcel tax measures that the district needed. And now, do you want to try and give something back? I haven't seen it. I'm tired of having to beg and grovel for fair pay after all that I've given for these 22 years. I'm tired of it, and I'm not ready to give anymore. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Melody Priceman, and I am at Chavez also. This is my 16th year teaching. I teach first grade. I'd like to talk about the impacts of overcrowding that I've experienced. We are very crowded and squished in our classroom. Our school was built for 20 children per classroom after class size reduction, so the classrooms are not very large. With so many children, there are constant distractions and interruptions. Imagine my class now. I have over 25 kids. 3 of my children have IEPs due to ADHD and other learning disabilities. I have a few with parents who are in jail. They're emotionally upset, and it's hard for them to concentrate. I have many whose parents cannot help them because they don't speak any English. I have a child whose father is in jail and mother works the graveyard shift, and he's always falling asleep in class. The kids are not getting what they need or deserve. And on top of that, we're crowded, we're bumping into things. This year we've had a lot of problems with no subs when other teachers are absent, and then they just divide their class, and here's 6 more children coming into my room. I don't have chairs. We have to bring them across the hall. There's no desks. Last time I had 4 children who didn't speak any English, so I couldn't just do the regular curriculum for the day. And I think I made an extra $15, which is very insulting. So this is not conducive to learning, and hopefully you can remedy that situation and take all of this into consideration, because we need money for class size reduction, healthcare, and salaries. It's just, there's really nowhere to go that you can eliminate any of those things. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Marialyce. I'm a teacher at Richmond High. Hi, Romelia. How you doing? She's in my AP Econ class, so when you hear what I'm about to say, you might understand why I'm saying it. At WCCUSD, a teacher in their 28th year makes $74,000 a year and pays out $6,000 in benefits for Kaiser. If they were to work at Mount Tam, just across the water, in year 7, they would make $76,000 and have to pay zero for family on Kaiser. Yeah. By the way, $6,000 is 12% of my gross income, not my net, so you can understand me being on the lower end having a bit of a problem making ends meet. In 1991, a starting teacher in this district made $26,000, or $26,712 on range 2. In 2013, a starting teacher would start at $40,000. Sounds great, except we didn't account for inflation. To even have the same purchase power parity of a teacher in 1991, that new teacher would need to start at $45,000. Inflation is the silent killer of wealth. My calculations tell me that teachers have lost 13.2% of their income over these 20 years. And that's just salaries. We haven't subtracted health premiums, so don't get me started on that. In 2011, annual household income in this county was $92,300. We're not even halfway there. Rents, for a first-year teacher, you would have to work there for 9 years to afford the 2011 fair market rent for a single-room apartment. So, why I say this is because you are charged with the mission of educating children, providing them quality education. We heard National Board Certification talk about quality teachers. How do you attract and retain quality teachers? You have to pay them competitively. In fact, in my opinion, you have to pay them the best. You want the best teachers, you have to pay them the best. I've done the research, and what WCCUSD is dead last in the Bay Area in salaries, and I believe also in benefits. And what this really means to me is that instead of paying $6,000 for health insurance every year, I have opted not to. I have a kid. It's wonderful when that kid has a fever and is coughing and wheezing at night, and you're sitting there doing cost calculations about whether you could go to the hospital or the ER or not, because you didn't get the insurance because 12% of your income is way too much. Also, and better news, my wife tells me she's pregnant again. Yay, except we have no health insurance. Okay, I cannot afford to take care of everyone else's kids at the expense of my own. No longer can I afford to tell my family I don't know if we'll be able to do anything nice this summer or how we'll be able to meet our grocery bill by the end of the month. I should not be trying to do battle to avoid layoff and wait for the jobs to trickle down at the end of the year. I should not be focusing energy on prepping for job interviews. I should be planning lessons. I should not be working to find money to support my teacher habit. I have a degree in economics. I planned other people's future for a living, and I've sacrificed my own to work here. Thank you.
Okay, I want to call the other speakers right before the next speakers talks. The next speakers that are up will be Anna Lillian Guzman, Susan Billings, B. Lieberman, Amanda Henderson, and Howard Cook. One more time, Anna Lilia Guzman, Susan Billings, B. Lieberman, Amanda Henderson, and Howard Cook.
Okay, ready? Good evening. My name is Marialyce. This is my 15th year here in the district, and I teach second grade at Chavez. On December 14th, 2012, at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut, 20 children and 6 adults lost their lives. As I briefly watched this drama unfold, what was foremost in my mind was, God forbid, but if that were to happen at our site, I know that every teacher there would go the extra mile to protect her students and if necessary, to lay down their lives for them. But here's the caveat. You would expect us to do that. Why? Because for some reason, that is what teachers do. I do not see this so much as an issue of money, benefits, or even class size. I see this as a moral issue between human beings. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Liliana Guzman. I'm a Cesar Chavez Elementary School. I'm a first grade bilingual teacher. And I became a teacher because in my time and in your time, the teacher profession was respected, was well paid. We adore our teachers. Now when you say teacher, you say, what? Are you a teacher? Oh, you're underpaid. You're the lowest salary of a professional. Yes, we are. You have triple jobs. You have to be a mom. You have to be a psychologist. Yes, I do. Why do you do it? I love teaching. I love to see the sparkle of the kids when they learn something new. That's what I love. That's what made me happy. But that's not going to pay my bills. We need a salary increase, 2% for the last 4 years that we haven't had for each year. That will be 8% increase. We need to pay our bills. We need to pay our rent, our gas, and our food. I don't have health benefits for my family. I cannot afford it. Now, I want the teacher profession to go back to where it was, to be respected, to be loved, not to be like other people say, oh my God, how can you afford to be a teacher? I want the respect back. No, you have in your hands the contract that we're working on. Remember that. We want health benefits for ourselves. We have a salary increase of 8% if it's possible. And class size reductions, because we need to give the best to our kids. We are teachers. We love it. But we also want to be respected and pay for it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Susan Billings. I teach second grade at Kensington, Hilltop. Attract and retain quality teachers. That's the mantra every time there's a parcel tax. And we teachers phone bank, and we go out and precinct walk, and we rally, and we get them passed. And then we come to contract negotiations, and there's $10 million to buy a new reading program, but there's not money for us. I have teachers at my school who shop at the canned good outlet and the 99-cent store for food. One of my colleagues has a niece who got a job 7 years ago. This colleague at that time had been in our district 17 years. The niece got a job in Santa Barbara and made the same amount as my colleague in her very first year. Teachers can't cover their children's health benefits. I have over $500 a month taken out of my check to cover my husband and son, and I can do that because my husband has a job. If I was single, I don't know how I'd do it. It's not just now that teachers are hurting. All of us in our retirement are going to suffer. We're going to make thousands less a month in our retirement than other people because our retirement is based on our highest years of salary. So if I was working in Livermore, I could look forward to a comfortable retirement. But because I choose to work in this district, I look at poverty. And I can't rely on my husband's Social Security because if he predeceases me, my retirement, my share, the Social Security that I would get as a widow in any other field is cut by however much my personal retirement is. I think a lot of people don't know that. I can't tell you how low the morale is among the teachers at my school. People are just, our classes are bigger, we have more special needs kids, so we have more SST meetings. It seems like adjunct duties just get piled up and piled up. There's more and more paperwork. I used to love teaching, and I'm so frustrated and so disappointed. I don't understand why there's so much money for books and technology, but there's not money for people. Thank you.
Hi, I'm B. Lieberman. It's nice to see some new faces on the school board. I'm going to tell you a true story, and it happened to me just 2 or 3 weeks ago. I like the old faces too, hey. This is a true story, and it's still, jogging around in my head. I have a friend that I've had for about 25 years who has had no formal education, never been to college, very poorly skilled, always thinks of herself as a very, very poor person, and this whole group of friends also see her as a very poor person. Everybody pays her way, etc., etc. She works as a clerk in a nonprofit. The other day, we talked about our salaries. I have 45 years' experience of working with children in various capacities. I have 2 credentials, lots of education. I have skills. I have 25 years in this district. We were both shocked and embarrassed to know that we make the same salary. I'm at the top of the pay scale, 75. She makes $75,000, and yearly she gets Christmas gifts. Yearly she expects bonuses, and she gets thousands of dollars of bonuses. It is beyond belief. So we know that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, a little story is worth 1,000 words. So I have a couple minutes, and I'm going to reiterate what I've said personally to a number of people in front of me. And that is that the long-term teachers who have worked their behinds off in this district through all the tough times, giving pay cuts, working extremely hard, making the lowest pay around, and therefore will be getting the lowest retirement around. To have our retirement benefits capped at this point after decades of contractual language that said your compensation package is this, including retirement, is really, really disgraceful. Please grandfather in your very long-term employees. There are not very many of us. Give us that uncapped benefit. One other thing is that I would love you to make the opportunity for us to make a higher salary in one of our last years. We could mentor the new teachers. We'd be very useful. We would one day be able to retire. I don't want to retire. I love teaching. I absolutely love teaching. But I want to know that I can one day. So I please ask you.
Good evening, School Board. My name is Amanda Henderson. I am very proud to be from Chavez Elementary, and I teach third grade. When deciding tonight what I wanted to talk to you about our contract and how it affects me currently, it was really hard because I'm affected by so many things. But the one thing that I think about and feel every single day is class size. You and I have a common goal. Our goal is to reach the needs of our students and get them college and career ready. We share that goal. And I can tell you that we're failing them. We're failing them right now with these overcrowded classrooms. Students cannot get the attention they need and the individual teaching that they need with large class sizes. With a class size of 30 or 28 to 30 third graders, even my intervention groups are large intervention groups, like 6 to 8 kids, and that's just not effective. We know that intervention groups of large groups are not as effective as small groups. So I really fear that our test scores are going to reflect our large class sizes. I guess time will tell on that one. But if there's one thing that I could speak to you tonight, when you're going to the table to discuss our next contract, please make it a priority to look at class size reduction. I think it's the most important thing for our students. Thank you.
And then after Mr. Cook, their two last speakers will be Kristyn Jones and Marialyce Dayale.
Okay, I have to give you a little history of how I ended up here. My brother is a teacher here in Richmond. He's been here for 30 years. And then my girlfriend, she works at El Cerrito High. And what happened today was she told me that she was at El Cerrito High. They had a sewage problem. 3 plumbing trucks came with 6 plumbers to fix it. And she said in the classroom where she was put, there was a shooting there, so they had to put her in a certain classroom, that it actually smelled like sewage. Then the maintenance guy said, well, there's a clean out here in the classroom, and okay, the other thing is I'm a general contractor. So what I'm wondering is, are the repairs that are being paid for in El Cerrito, are those going back into the contractor? Because the way these construction defects work, you have 10 years in which you can, in which the contractor is liable. And normally the way it's done is there's a consulting firm checks, and makes sure that it was what the defects are, were the plans followed, etc. And then that consulting firm makes a report that will go to the school board, and then the school board contacts the contractor, who has liability insurance, bonds, etc., to pay for this. Because what she said is, and I just know this, this is just secondhand, but she works there, and I've heard this for a long time. What she said is that they just keep paying someone over and over and over when the contractor should be paying for it because it's within the 10 years. So I just wanted to, all I'm hearing here is you all have financial problems, people aren't getting paid enough, and one way to do that is to save some money. So hopefully someone is investigating this and looking into it. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Kristyn Jones.
Good evening. I'm Kristyn Jones. I'm a third grade teacher at Lake Elementary School. I just want to give a shout out to Randy Enos and also Todd Groves. I saw them at the Martin Luther King celebration in El Cerrito. It was a lot of fun. I think there were some other people there too, but those were the two that I saw. I'm a graduate of El Cerrito High School, and I teach third grade at Lake Elementary School, which is in San Pablo, and I currently live in San Pablo. But I wrote an article for the El Cerrito patch because my roots are in El Cerrito, and I'll just read it now. I wrote it a couple weeks ago, so you could probably find it online. The title of the article was Use Measure G Funds to Attract and Retain Quality Teachers. With the passage of Measure G in the November election, El Cerrito residents made their priorities clear. They want to support and protect core academic programs in WCCUSD through smaller class sizes, technology, improved safety, libraries and laboratories, and attracting and supporting qualified teachers. El Cerrito voters, with 79.3%, were only surpassed by Kensington voters with 84.5% and their overwhelming support for Measure G. Measure G, then, is a clear mandate to improve our schools with specific programs on how to do it. One important program that Measure G includes is attracting and retaining qualified teachers, or quality teachers. One way to do this is to offer a competitive salary and benefits package. West Contra Costa Unified School District teacher salaries historically have been low compared to teachers in neighboring districts because we had such an outstanding benefits package that included health care benefits for the employee and dependents. However, in the last contract, the district took away health care benefits for dependents. Now, in order to keep a spouse or child on Kaiser, for example, a teacher might pay about $300 a month, and this has gone up in January. Most teachers can't afford this expense. Most teachers don't qualify for public health care options either. For example, Kaiser, I think, offers a program called Kaiser Healthy Child, where you might only have to pay between $8 and $18 a month. But most teachers just make slightly over that, the income limit, so they don't qualify. So there are many children of teachers who do not have health care coverage, in fact. This added burden, low salary, no health care, may drive qualified teachers away from our district. And I'm afraid it probably has driven qualified teachers away from our district. Just to share a personal example, my daughter does not have any health care. A few weeks ago, she had some red thing on her eye, and all I could do was just wash her eye, put some Vaseline around the eye, pray, and worry, and then do some more prayer. So I think you guys need to do something about the health care and increase our salary. Thank you.
That concludes public comment.
Thank you.